Welcome again in this session, where we are going to learn event handling. When users interact with your application, events are fired. For example, mouse click, mouse hover, key press, change event, and so on. The application must handle such event and execute the necessary code. In this video, let's see how to handle event in React. We will focus on click event. Let us start by creating our first event with functional components. So in our folder here, as we do always, we are going to create a file and let us call this functional click, since we need to create with a functional component. So I'll say functional click, functional click.js. I will use a snippet RFCE to create my functional component. So I'll press enter here. I have already my functional component. Inside my div tag, where I have a return here, I will have a button element, and this button element, I'll call it click. Okay. Inside this button element, I'm going to write my event. Now, our goal is to capture the click event and execute some basic code. React event are named in camel cases rather than lowercase. So we are going to have on click here, like that one. In Java vanilla, normally we have we can write on click in small cases, but with JavaScript we need to use the camel cases. So it will be equals to, then I'll have my handler here, where I'll write click handler. Okay, you can write something that you think it's fine for you, but for me I can go with this word, click handler. Okay, now after having my click handler here, there's another thing we can see that in ES6 you pass a function as event handler rather than a string. So this is our event handler here. So when we talk about we don't pass as a string, is like doing this way here, that instead I can have this thing here, then I say click handler. Okay, handler. So in JavaScript, in Reacting we don't do that way. So in Reacting we have to do this way, click handler. Okay, now after creating our event handler here, in JavaScript we can create a function inside of another function. So we are going to create our function inside here. So I'll say function. The name of this function is parameter here. Our function will not take any parameter, and this function will be named as clicking handler. This is the name of our function, this one here. Okay, so what do we want to return here? We are going to console here inside. So clg, that a snippet, I have it also for the console. Then here I'll write button has been clicked. Okay, clicked. Now we need to import our component to app component so it can be rendered to a browser. So let's go here inside our div here, then we'll say function, click, you press enter to simplify things. Make sure it has been imported here, and let us go to a browser and check. Okay, I will refresh here. Fine, we have our button here. Let us open the development tool, because we console, so we need to see from development tool. When we click here, we'll see nothing. Okay, so we go here, I'll clean it this way, and I'll press this one here. Bam. So we can see our event is working correctly. Now, there's another thing we needed to understand. As a beginner, we have a common mistake that we tend to make. Okay. In our code, you can see that on click, we pass the function as an event handler. Let's put parentheses and see what will happen. So let's get back to our VS Code. Okay, in our function component here, and here let us put parentheses. Okay, after putting parentheses, let's get back to our browser and see what has been happening. Okay, now what you see here, already a button has been triggered before even we click here. Okay, now to understand this, let me clear here and refresh a page. Normally when I click here, it will happen nothing. Okay, but let me refresh here. You see the button has been what? Triggered. So we say we write with this parenthesis here. Okay, this now is not a function handler, event handler. Okay, but this become a function call, a thing that we don't want. We need a handler to be function, but not a function call. Okay, so when we put the parenthesis here, this is a function call and it's not a function. So as far as we need this one to handle our event here, we need this one here to be a function. So make sure you don't put the parenthesis here. Okay, so if you take it off, everything will be fine. Now we have seen how we can create our event using functional component. Now let us see how we can create an event with class component. So we will go here to our component folder. I'll create another file, and this one here I'll say class, because we are dealing with the class component. So I'll say class, then click. You can name any kind of name you like, my students. Okay. Now here we are going to use a snippet RCE. Okay. This one will create our class. So I'll take the export off. Okay. Now inside here we are going to have our button element. In this button element, I will rename. I'll say click here. Okay. You can name anything you like. And inside of our button here, we are going to have our event. We say on click equals to. Remember, in class component, we use a this key. So we are going to write this dot click handler. Okay. Now we are going here to write our method. Okay. So we are going to say click handler. We'll put that way. Okay, and our open press. Inside here we are going to console. So C LG is a snippet for the console. Then I write okay, I'll put a string inside here. You can write anything. I have been clicked. Okay, I have been clicked. So again, we needed to import our class to app component. So we come here and we say class click, then make sure it has been imported on top. Therefore, let's go to a browser and see. Okay, I can clean this one here, press the click here, bam. Okay, so it's working. Now this is how you handle event in a functional component and a classy component. Event handler looks simple right now, as we are not doing much in our event handler, meaning that we can have different complex logics and stuffs related to event handler. We are going to see this much as we go on learning ReactJS. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share to other friends who really like to learn programming, especially ReactJS. In the upcoming video, we are going to learn on binding event handler.